Hi, what's up guys, it's Evan here, and in today's video I'll be going over a pack of pyramid puzzles from the Cubicle. So I'm just going to show you each of these 6 pyramid puzzles and then just tell my thoughts about them. And yeah, so let's hop into it. So I'm just going to do one puzzle at a time, so let's hop right into it. So I'm just going to start off with, just put them all in order. Okay, I'm going to start off with this one. This is called the Corner Twist Pyramid. So all of these puzzles are pyramid puzzles. So basically, this puzzle literally turns by the corners. It just turns 4 corners, and I'm pretty sure any little kid out there, if they want to learn how to solve a puzzle, they can just kind of buy this, and you can definitely solve this within 60 seconds at any given scramble. So I'd say the turning's very smooth. It feels just very smooth and it feels very light as well in my hand. And the one thing I noticed about the colors compared to a normal Pyraminx, the yellow, blue, and green colors are the same, but this is pink instead of red. So all these puzzles will have pink instead of red on one of the colors. I kind of find that strange, but I also kind of find that nice, to see a new shade of a color on a pyramid puzzle. So I'd say I'd give this maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it's a really good beginner's puzzle for anyone who wants to learn how to solve a puzzle. So now let's move on to the next one. This is called the Bead Pyramid. So this is basically just similar to a Pyraminx Duo. This is literally a Pyraminx Duo. That's all it is. So it's just 4 corners, and they have these little middle pieces, which are the center pieces. So if you turn a certain side, the center turns with it. So this is literally just the same thing as a Pyraminx Duo, but I'd say the turning, if you're just turning it the right layer, it feels smooth. You can even see the centers attached to the core. The turning's pretty good, I do have to say. I mean, you kind of have to, if you want to have good grip, use sledgehammers, you hold it like this. So, I'd say it has okay grip. I mean, the colors actually came out the same compared to Corner Twist Pyramid, so that's kind of my same thoughts about it. So, I thought the colors came out nice again. They actually feel very, very, very alike to the Corner Twist Pyramid as I looked at them. Turning's very nice. I'd say this is probably another good beginner's puzzle for a non-cuber in case that they want to learn another puzzle. You could actually solve this puzzle within 4 moves or less. So yeah, so I'd say my thoughts of this would be about a 9 out of 10, because I'd say this is probably a really good puzzle for anyone starting to learn a Rubik's Cube. So let's move on to the third puzzle. So this puzzle is actually called the Boomerang Pyramid. So you might actually think it actually turns on the edges. Instead, it actually turns like this. So you can see when you turn it, it actually turns the shape of a boomerang. Because you can see the shape of a boomerang is kind of like this. It looks like a greater than sign or an L. Or kind of and it just looks kind of like a U shape kind of thing. So, it just basically, when you turn it, it just actually looks like a boomerang. So you actually turn the edges instead of just one individual edge. You'll just move this entire part. It's pretty decent. I mean, the turning is it locks up a lot. It locks up a decent amount of time, and when you try to turn it fast, the pieces can get somewhat loose, caught together, which is kind of a problem with this puzzle. But all of these puzzles are actually $6 each on thecubicle.com, so some of these are pretty good for their price. Some of these are decent for their price. If you actually want to turn in one individual layer, just take an entire side like this one and just turn it like this. So you can just turn 2 edge pieces at once. That's kind of how it turns. I'd say the turning actually feels weird. It can be weird to get used to, but it's just literally all of these puzzles. If you know how to solve a Pyraminx, you can literally solve every single one of these puzzles. And a Pyraminx Duo as well. So, I'd say for this puzzle, I'd give it around a 7.5 out of 10 because it locks up a decent amount of time, and the pieces can be somewhat loose when you're turning it quickly, which can be a bit of an issue, but it's $6, so I'd say it's pretty good for its price. So now, let's move on to the next one. So this next one is actually called the Windmill Pyramid. So it's literally the Boomerang Pyramid, but there's just a centerpiece in the middle of it, kind of like the Bead Pyramid. So, it actually turns the same as the Boomerang Pyramid. The center just turns with it. It actually turns smoother than the, other one. The pieces are, like, very tight. Like, they stay on very well. The colors actually feel, about the same as all the other ones. But when I look at the Boomerang Pyramid, the color actually looks a bit lighter than the, Windmill Pyramid. When I looked at it. The turning's pretty good. I mean, it can be weird to, like, get used to, like, just like the Boomerang Pyramid. But I'd say this is probably another good puzzle. It's just literally just solving, like, the centers of, like, a pyramid, just solving all these pieces. And then just solving the last layer, and then just solving the centers. So, yeah. There's not really much to talk about on these puzzles, because, like, all the puzzles feel, like, the same. I mean, I just give different thoughts about, like, the turning. The colors actually do feel a bit darker than the other ones. But I'd say for this puzzle, I give it probably like an 8.5 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not great, but it is pretty good. So let's move on to the 5th puzzle. So this puzzle is called the Maple Leaf Pyramid. So it's just, if you don't know what this puzzle is, it's just basically a Pyraminx, but just without the tips. This isn't a Pyraminx, by the way. So, it's just basically just a Pyraminx. Like, these 3 pieces are the center pieces. These are the edge pieces. And then there's just no tips. Like, so basically, it's just a Pyraminx, just with no tips. It can feel weird. The pieces actually feel pretty loose when you're trying to hold it. Like, look how loose that is. Like, when I try to turn it, like, you can accidentally turn another layer because of just how loose this is. But it's $6, so all these are very cheap. So I'd say the turning actually is not great. The pieces are very loose. I mean, it turns okay. It's just, like, it's, like, hard. It can be easy to, like, turn other layers, like, you don't want to turn. So, yeah. The colors came out, like, the same as, like, the other ones. Like, all of them do. So, the pieces are just very loose. I just like how it's similar to a normal Pyraminx. So, this actually should be very easy to solve. So, for this puzzle, I'd give it maybe around a 7 out of 10 for just it being so loose. If the pieces were a bit tighter, like, they would be more stable, I'd probably put it, like, higher on the scale. But, yeah. So, let's move on to the last puzzle. So, the last puzzle I want to show you is called the Triangle Twist Pyramid. So it's just basically just a Pyraminx with a center in it. So like these are like the corner pieces, these are the edge pieces, and that's the centerpiece. So you would just basically solve all 4 corners first. That's kind of how I would solve it. I would solve all the edge pieces and all the edge pieces on the last layer, and then just solve all the centers. This turns just very well. It feels just like a normal Pyraminx. So I just say this would probably be my, if I had to choose a main out of all of these, I would choose this one. It's a really good puzzle. I mean, like, it just turns very smoothly. The colors also do come out really well. So, sorry if you hear noise in the background. But I just wanted to say, this would probably be the best puzzle to buy. But if you do know how to solve a Pyraminx and a Pyraminx 2, you can learn all these puzzles. So, I'd say for, like, the turning and stuff, and maybe for how it looks, it just looks very nice. So, I'd probably give this a 9.5 out of 10. Really a perfect. So, yeah. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on all these pyramid puzzles. So, if you guys want to buy these, go check out thecubicle.com. That's where I got every single one of these puzzles. They're $6 each. So, if you guys want to see a tutorial video on any of these puzzles, let me know down below in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys later. Alright, bye guys.